Red, blue, purple light. Friends. Red, blue, purple light. Friends. Facts. Red, blue, purple light. Friends. Red and blue, purple light. Friends. Facts. You can get to know the ledger, sacrilegious Sunday to melanin Monday. You can get to know the ledger, my love. Just open your third on Thursday. Lord, the food, the art, the clothes, the Vatican's getting exposed fast. We put the show on the road. You better stay on your toes. I was till the land focused on the ego. Then I open my heart, let go of the ego. Grand after grand, we stacking up these C notes. Facts, facts, yeah. We gon' put this shit on our backs. Facts, facts. We in your city, pull up where we at. Facts, facts. Peace, love and light. Peace, love to the family. Peace, love and light. To the family. Peace, love and light. To the family.
These days and time, black man, is going to be the time that you have been waiting for. You came here for a reason. Whatever pressure, whatever adversity, whatever the fuck you feel, I don't know what you feel, but whatever you may be feeling is going to push you and it's going to provoke you, and it's either going to make you or break you, similar to how pressure busts pipes or the shit makes diamonds.
Red, blue, purple light. Friends. Red, blue, purple light. Friends. Facts.
Wow. We didn't have no audio that whole time that I was talking. Wow. Okay, so let's run it back. Pardon me. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, gods and goddesses, welcome to another episode of Saturday Night Live. You is now rocking with the best. Yes, this is your host for the evening, the brother Rich Phil, aka Red Pillar, live and direct. Yes, we in the building. You dig what I'm saying? That song that you just heard right there. Red and blue, purple facts. You dig? I'm in my mink slide era. You know, I'm talking about activities. We outside. We outside. You dig? You know what I'm talking about? We outside. You dig? That's it right there. That's it right there. We might have to give y'all visuals on that. You know what I'm talking about? You know, the bell bottoms is back and all that. We might have to give you the visuals on that. You dig? I'm in my mink slide era. That part. So yes, let's do the roll call. We see the family is pulling up in the building. Y'all are pulling up. We are here. This is a late night show, ladies and gentlemen. This is not the matinee. This is a Saturday night live special. You feel me? After midnight. You dig? We going in tonight. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Yes. West Oakland is in the building. Shout out to West Oakland. All right. Shout out to Nashville, Tennessee, aka Lower Egypt. I'm gonna play a clip that I have that we made from the video that we did with Taj, that classic that we just did the other night. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to uh Master Sheik, Taj Tariq Bey. You know what I'm talking about? And the demonstration that he came through, the Grand Sheik, pardon me, Grand Sheik Taj Tariq Bey, and the demonstration that he came through on Third Eye Thursday and laid it down. You know what I mean? Classic episode. Classic episode is getting a lot of traction. If you did not hear it, we will make it available at the end of this show. So you could just click on it, or it'll even be the next video that plays after this is over. But yeah, he laid it down and we were able to animate the video and put visuals to it. Receipts for everything that he was saying. Facts. You feel me? Receipts, visuals. You know, it hits different when you see the visuals. You know, you match the visuals to the words that he says. You got to keep in mind, even with everybody has different teaching styles, and every teacher is somewhat limited to, you know, the level of technology that they use. So Taj is not known for putting together visual masterpieces like a Dane Calloway. He doesn't have a grasp on the editing and the visuals and the production and stuff like that. However, very descriptive information, a book, a wealth of knowledge, a library, right? And the information that he has in his, you know, just in his conversation, it's almost like he is he's what they call what's that? Morris GPT. You could prompt him, right? All you got to do is prompt him, ask the right questions or prompt the right prompting, and you will receive the correct answer, which could be a treasure chest of information, a treasure trove. So salute to him. We're gonna play these clips that we made, and you know, as we move through the show. So yes, Hawaii is in the building. Shout out to Hawaii. Salute to Hawaii. Salute to San Francisco, North Carolina, always in the building. You already know what it is. DFW in the building. You know, I'm talking about Rich Mound. I see you, Rich Mound. Memphis in this thing. Memphis. And he also talked about Memphis being Lower Egypt. Yes. Yes. Do y'all think y'all want to hear the background music tonight? Let me know if I should go with the background music. I like the vibe that it creates. So y'all let me know if y'all want to vibe with that tonight. And we have like 3 background sounds. It's not just one. So we could also choose between that as well. Great show. You watched it 3 times. Heavy, right? Hella classic. Look, that show is like, you know, it's like a Thanksgiving meal, but for vegans and plant-based people who, you know, only shop at the finest of the finest. You know, so many nuggets, so much food to eat from that. Such a full plate. Okay. Such a full plate. And what a way to be introduced to the Moorish information if that's something new to you. Why tippy toe around it? Why play around it? Let's just get right to it. You know what I mean? And create such a vibration of just pure questions and you know, because it'll put somebody on a journey and it'll put a person down a rabbit hole that will help them make a lot of major breakthroughs, especially if you are here on this land, or any land for that matter, and you are on a quest to basically turn the lights on and to kind of like put the pieces of the puzzle back together, because you know that there's a lot of unanswered questions and whatnot, but it stems from the fact that you only have pieces of the information, and then somebody could come along and they could give you the quote unquote the keys, they could show you the receipts, they could give you certain type of information that can be researched and whatnot and backed up. And it's like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. All right, yeah. So yeah. You know what I mean? So shout out to Taj. You know what I mean? He does what only he can do. I would never compare any of the master teachers to each other, because that's somewhat egregious. It's not. That's not what the reason why I say is being these teachers up to be pit against one another. They didn't show up for that. You know, they didn't show up for that. So we can't have our teachers, out here basically in competition with each other, like this is the gladiator. You know what I'm talking about? And yes, I'm bringing the sound effects back. I am bringing the sound effects. I felt incomplete when I was playing that song just now, the red and blue purple like Prince, the Mink Slide, R&B edition, and I didn't have the bombs, the Funk Master Flex bomb. So yeah, first thing first, I'm gonna go get that out the studio. You know what I mean? I gotta activate the sounds again, so that's coming. Okay. Tomorrow is a special day. And it's called Proclamation Day. Well, actually, we are at Proclamation Day right now. July the 21st is officially Red Pill and Blue Pill Day in Georgia. This is something that I would love to celebrate with the family in attendance. As we go through the show, we'll highlight some things and we'll talk about what's taking place tomorrow, and we'll also give some information for people to RSVP for a special event that we'll be having tomorrow. Bring your bathing suit, swimming trunks, towels. Yeah, so much is going on in the news. Here we are, 7 days later, after the greatest show on the earth kicked into its newest season. Now, if this was a Netflix series, I don't know if the situation with Trump was the season ending or if it was the first episode of a new season. But what I do know is 7 days later, after the attempted assassination on Donald J. Trump in Pennsylvania, of all places, that I have witnessed the rise of a modern day cult in real time. Now, there was somewhat of a cult-like following that was attached to Donald J. Trump. As a matter of fact, the whole world was able to bear witness to this cult on January 6th, when the insurrection at Capitol Hill happened. That was a result of his cult. breaking the line, not just causing disruption, causing a mutiny. You know, the earlier signs of a coup d'etat. They basically committed treason and were treated like trespassers. In hindsight, right? They talk about there was a loss of life. If the loss of life wasn't in the triple digits, then that doesn't even compare to what they would have done to what they would have done to melanated people or any type of quote unquote crayon or fiction if they went ahead and stormed the Capitol. What if the people who came through the borders and whatnot, who they erroneously entitled the migrants, what if they were storming the Capitol? Imagine how many casualties would have came out of that. So we know theater or bad theater when we're seeing it. And this cult-like following that is beginning to reach a feverish pitch. It's beginning to cross over into waters that are stained with blood. Blood was shed. There was a whole convention of people wearing ear diapers the other night. Not only showing their support to their martyr, their living martyr, Donald J. Trump, but they were also showing the world, right, on some religious type of I live vicariously through this man type of I see myself in this man type of I'm going to basically, you know, the blood of my blood, flesh of my flesh, whatever he goes through, we go through. That's the beginning stages of an irreversible cult. People ask, what does he have? What would he have it? What would it benefit the Trump campaign if they were to stage perhaps an assassination, right? What would they have, like, you know, what's in it for him? That was a question that I was hearing a lot about 7 days ago. 7 days later, I don't hear that question anymore. Do you know why? Because it can become very obvious to a thinker, right? Because as a thinker, what you do is you allow yourself time to pay attention to the facts, not the fiction and not how people feel, and definitely not the hype, because the hype is what the media shows you and the facts is what the media hides from you. And the facts of the matter is there's about 3 videos that could be utilized in any court of law as evidence A, B, and C to show that something is definitely not what they telling you on the TV and the media as to what happened, even based on what you even thought that you saw, even based on what you thought that you saw. One, there's a video with the alleged shooter casing the property with the quote unquote people, the Secret Service, and other people in law enforcement right in the area where this man was casing the property. That's just evidence number one. That's really not that much. However, in this same evidence, there was evidence that there was a video of 3 different in 3 different occasions where there were people yelling, right? This is people were yelling out. This is just evidence A. There were people who spotted a man on a roof. They were yelling out to law enforcement at the top of their lungs. They were saying shooter, and they were basically making a thing about it, right? Nobody had anything. There's no, you know what I mean? There's no responses about that. There's no feedback. Cool. That's just one. 2, I saw a video of somebody at a water tower. Now, the video was somebody at the water tower okay, is clearly indicating that there's more than just one shooter. Okay. There was even conversation about the bullets that are in those three people, one who lost their life and two other people who were injured, are not the same shells. They're not the same bullets. So there's two shooters. I saw a video, clear video of a shooter at the water tower, right? Which would explain if somebody basically shot the firefighter and whatnot. Two different gun sounds, right? The third evidence is the fact that Donald Trump's didn't even have he didn't even have the Secret Service on detail. This was like top flight security with him. This was not the Secret Service. That came out. Okay. And then there's another article that came out. This is evidence. This is the bonus evidence, right? This is the bonus evidence. Okay. The other evidence came out that Donald Trump, his business, Truth Social, right? The stock on his business was shorted, right? On the stock market by a company that's affiliated with the same people who the alleged shooter showed up in the commercial for, and that is the investment bank BlackRock. Right? So shooter on a watchtower, in a water tower, a shooter who made it to a slanted roof and basically, oh yeah, I didn't even add that the police, a policeman climbed on the roof, saw the shooter, climbed down the roof, didn't use his radio, didn't shoot any weapons in the air, he didn't squeeze off any shots and whatnot, right? He didn't go up the roof with his weapon drawn. Yes. He said that he saw a man in a sniper position when the former president was about to, well, he was already on the podium and whatnot. And this man stood down, right? This is what they're telling us. Okay. This is what it would look like if it was staged, for anybody who wants to know how could that be possible. This is what it would look like if it was staged. He's in on a whole fake shooting type of situation, right? Somehow, some way, the person who gets sacrificed, it's a lot of people who term MK Ultra. It's a lot of what they call what's that shit? Manchurian candidates. Pardon me. The Manchurian candidate thing is still at play. You hear shots go off, and then President Trump goes down. He smacks his neck, right? Like how they do in wrestling. He smacks his neck. He goes down. They say when you hit a shot, you go down. Sometimes the shots could be blanks. Sometimes the shots could be, it don't have to necessarily be, but what it can't be. I don't know what it is, but what it can't be is an AR bullet past your ear and it didn't get ripped off with the velocity of what an AR-15 is. Do you understand? That's what doesn't happen. And what also doesn't happen, which is evidence D, is when you go to the hospital, you don't get stitched up. That's not what happens when an AR-15 goes past your ear. Okay? It's not what happens, fam. And I don't know what type of movies we've been watching on Netflix during the lockdown up until now, but they've been stretching our imagination something crazy. And then just to top things off, to show you that we are truly in the WWE, who comes on stage at the Republican National Convention tearing off his goddamn jacket in pure character to let you know that this shit is wrestling, to let you know that this is the greatest show on earth, and both sides are playing your ass, and we are in this Coliseum together. Hulk Hogan. It's Trumpomania. It's Trumpomania. So 7 days later, I'm not falling for the okie doke. I'm not going to lie to myself. I'm not buying into the greatest show on earth. I'm not with the propaganda. I ain't about to get up here and start playing with y'all. All I'm going to do is ask questions because it don't make sense. It didn't make sense when I saw it. It don't make sense right now. But what makes sense and what I do see is that he went from president to emperor. He's fulfilling his destiny of the messianic one on that side. He is their Messiah. Fear of a black or more Messiah. They are choosing a Messiah, right? In the form of Donald Trump as a politician, but he has transcended politicians. He is a living martyr. And this crusade that he is about to embark upon on in the next 4 years is not going to be quote unquote cemented in politics only. They're going to have a culture war. They are going to have a quote unquote a religious revival of Christian nationalism and evangelicalism and Christian Zionism right in front of your faces, right? They're going to enact through their, through some of their, the vice president and the organizations that he's attached to, Project 2025, which is basically, Christian nationalism, populism, and it's their plan to bring about, this prophesized to bring about to bring about their Messiah. That's what this is about. It's about creating an environment and creating the situation to be right for their Messiah to return. That's why these three heifers in Israel is about to be sacrificed. Okay, that's why you're seeing the conflict all around the world at such a degree that you're seeing as nothing is taking place that's not planned. Nothing is taking place that's out of order right now. Everything is going according to plan. You know what I'm talking about? Everything is going according to plan. And there is simultaneously, while all of this I would say nefarious, activities are taking place, there's also a uplifting taking place in the fact that people not only are waking up to their powers, no, people are actualizing their powers in real time right now. You feel me? There's a quickening taking place, and it's affecting a lot of people in a real positive type of way. You dig? So when we look at what's going on with a lot of people outside of around the world, we have to be very careful to not take things personal and make that and somehow equate that to us, because right now our people are going through a supercell type of reawakening. You feel me? Our people are going through a supercell type of wake up. Our people are getting their powers You understand? People are really tapping into their powers, collectives and tribes and whatnot. They're turning on their superpowers. You have sisterhoods and whatnot. You have brotherhoods. You dig what I'm saying? And they're doing a lot of work. They're out here doing a lot of work. They ain't on the internet just internet, and you feel me? They out here doing shadow work. They doing spiritual work. They're building and destroying. They putting in mad work to chase the, to hold each other responsible and to slay demons. We are in some very, very interesting times. Y'all have no idea. I promise you. I promise. And I'm not saying that to just say it. I shit you not, yo. These are the times that we've been waiting for. So I'm being very responsible. You dig? As a more, I'm putting together the solutions, right? On Monday, I got the roundtable of the century. You know what I mean? I'm bringing 4 Moorish scholars together, and we are gonna go through some very, very, we're gonna have some studious, a studious conversation, and we're gonna get to some solutions and whatnot. So I look forward to seeing y'all. And then on Sunday, right? On Sunday coming up, which happens to be the 28th, I'm going to be doing a lecture with the good brother Sharif Bey. All right. Fear of a Black or More Messiah. And that's going to be on Zoom. This is going to be major right here. It's going to touch on everything that's taken place ever since we left you with Winning Rome. Because ever since we left you with Winning Rome, as you can see, right? The campaign of fear has kicked off, and we not even at the end of July. We're in the 3rd week of July, and we've already had a major worldwide outage, a cyber attack. We had the president almost getting shot. This all happened since we made the announcement of fear of a Black or More Messiah. You know what I mean? This frequency of fear. The fear index is on extreme fear right now. Okay, this all happened when the Jason months kicked off. This all happened when the beginning of the Jason month started in July, and here we are now. We ain't even through July, and we already got an assassination attempt. Saturn in retro, right? Check this out. The Democrats are in fear. I'm speaking to Democrats, especially Democratic melanated women and whatnot, and they're expressing to me a level of uncertainty because they don't want to live in Donald Trump's America. That's not something that they can see themselves thriving and being able to prosper in this world. However, right, this is what they're telling me, right? And they're feeling like there's going to be some type of revenge going against, the supporters of Biden and the supporters of Kamala and the card carrying Democrats, who majority of them are melanated women. So they don't want to be penalized by the Trump administration or the right wing and whatnot when he gets into office. Say, look, I hear all of that. It's a worthy it's noted, and it's definitely a worthy request. And this is my thing. Like, the best thing that you could do at this point is to learn, because it's really about, it's all boiling down to, being informed and making informed decisions, and being informed and being able to see these things through informed eyes and whatnot. Like, this is not the time of, trying to figure things out in 2024 in July. You know what I mean? Everything that needed to be laid out has kind of been laid out to allow people to see this thing for what it is. And what it is right now is our people suffer from a lack of knowledge, and our people suffer from a lack of unity. So, you would not feel threatened by Project 2025 if you had your own Project 2025. You would not feel threatened as a Biden sexual and whatnot if you basically had some type of answer to this whole, they have our people thinking in a one track mind as a one party, adherent, that gets nothing really in return, but a lot of symbolic gestures and whatnot. There's grants that open up and stuff like that. But look, we have the power to do everything that needs to be done on our own. Technology is here. The answers to a lot of questions that we have on even how to run certain type of businesses and operations, this is not hidden from us anymore. It's not hidden from us anymore. I don't want to promote no type of fear. And I hope that fear doesn't grip our people as a result of this Democratic Party falling and failing, because quiet is kept, it's a failure. It's a horrible party. It serves us no purpose. I have no qualm saying that, it either it is or it's not. That party is, it originally started out as a party that was responsible for, you know, denying you. You know what I'm saying? These are not our friends. We're Republicans. We're part of the Republic, if anything. So the fact that melanated men are becoming Republicans again, as above, so below. You know what I'm saying? The pendulum swings and whatnot. And it was like that in the beginning, so it shall be that in the end. I don't have any problems with that. When we were Republicans, we owned land. We had land rights. We had allodial rights. You understand? We were really owners like that. We really had power like that. That kind of ended when the Wilmington massacre in 1897 in Wilmington, North Carolina, when they had a coup d'etat and they shut down a fusion government of the Republicans and the quote unquote, what was the other party? It was another party, but they basically, the Europeans, the good old boys and whatnot, the Ku Klux Klan and other race soldiers, they basically committed an atrocity, a massacre in Wilmington, and they shut that Republican shit down. 1897, this is before Black Wall Street, and they Black Wall Streeted them. They wiped them out. Okay? Cape Fear, right? They put a lot of bodies in Cape Fear, and then they went and made that movie with Robert De Niro. The energy is present to this day. Yeah. They hide the woman. It's on record as the first, I think it's the only coup d'etat on American soil, right? I believe it's the only coup d'etat, the only. So with all of the crazy shit that you read about in America history, and that America are some crazy ass ball heads, and they do a lot of crazy shit on this land, there was only one coup d'etat, and that was against our people. So how the hell in the late 1800s are they committing coup d'etats against alleged slaves? You niggas is out here claiming slavery? What are you talking about? No, it was some slaves out there, but god damn it, everybody couldn't be no damn slave. It's impossible. Nah, Red, they got that stuff afterwards. No, they had this shit all the time. There was a lot of our people. When you think hundreds and hundreds of towns just popped up after goddamn Emancipation Proclamation, no. we the context that we use in thinking about this history in the Americas or in North America is crazy. Hollywood has played a real crazy job on us, you know. But we had the massive, they called it the blue screen of death. The blue screen of death with the quote unquote Microsoft outage. The blue screen of death. Then you have, if I was a Democrat right now, I couldn't hold down a milkshake because my stomach would be doing backflips because they don't even have a viable candidate to fill in the role for Joe Biden, right? They can't, you know, they talking about Joe Biden don't even want to endorse Kamala as a candidate, right? There's a brother out of, I think his name is Westmore. I'm hearing his name being toted around. There's a dude from California, Gavin Newsom, who was gruesome. There's Kamala the cat. You know, who would even be her running mate? Who would even be her running mate? Van Jones or Van Lathan? You know? Since they letting people with felonies run for office and whatnot, who would be Kamala's co-defendant? Would it be a nigga with a felony? To appeal to the felons because they say that Trump got that on lock. Wait, you said Kamala and AOC? Look at that. Kamala and AOC. Kamala and Lamont Hill. Huh? Kamala and Hillary? What are we doing? Would you do a Kamala Hillary ticket? That's crazy, KK. A Michelle and a Kamala ticket? Man, they out here. Bring Bernie's old ass out. Yo, they said Kamala and Montel Williams. I'm done. I'm over with it. Oh, AOC was exposing behind the scenes. Since they doing people with felonies, Kamala and Big Meats, y'all. I think that shit might be a dub. I think that might go in the land. Yo, Kamala and Big Meats, since they letting dudes with felonies run for office. You got it, Jocko. That's it right there. They could show her with the helicopter going to pick the homie up. She with Angela Simmons and whatnot. They land. She hop out. She got the paint suit. She got the paint suit from Carhartt tucked in with the Timbs and whatnot. Right? With the baby hairs and shit. You know what I mean? Her shit is laid. She got the baby hair. She's showing up to the pokey to get Big Meech out, and they gonna start a podcast. And they sharing the ticket. Yeah, I think that's a go. You feel me? With his son doing interviews and shit. And they come out with 50. Yo, the world is yours. On some BMF shit. Atlanta, they moved the capital to Atlanta next to Clark. Come on now. That's a dog fight. Now, what are we talking about? Now it's a fight, niggas. Now it's interesting. Get Joe Biden out of here. This nigga got COVID. He's finna, you know what I mean? That's basically the most political PR campaign, public relations way to bow him out. Yo, he got COVID. And mention that he's fighting hard to stay in the race. Don't show any type of fold. And then we'll make the announcement and bow you out gracefully. That whole shit, oh, he caught COVID. Lies, nigga. You don't see Olivia Pope. You don't smell Olivia Pope when you see her. That was Sister Sage setting shit up like that. That's not real, Pat. No. No, Brandon, it's not gonna work. You know what I'm talking about? It's not gonna work. Let's go, Brandon. So he's out of here. It's just a shit show. I mean, it's no other way around it. But there's a cult developing before your very own eyes. And this is not just a quote unquote a passive group of people, right? This is not just your average passive group of supporters and whatnot, and stands and fans and whatnot. Oh no. This group, ladies and gentlemen, they got blood in their eyes. Okay? These are the red hat MAGAs. These are the red hat MAGAs. And they've been deputized. They've been quote unquote, they on the verge, they on the edge of being deputized by Trump. He could deputize them the day that he takes office. I told you he's Homelander. We'll get into that. He could deputize them the day that he gets in office and be like, yo, I'm creating a whole militia to protect me, because this Secret Service shit ain't enough. I gotta protect my whole, you know what I mean? I gotta protect my wig. I want to take the people from January 6th and deputize them. Right? Put them in military regalia. Bring them on as a part of his standing army. Because if you try to take the man out, yo, Red, what reason would he have to go ahead and do something like that and do wrestling in front of the people? Because there's a way that you build up the quote unquote, you take sympathy and you turn it into worship. You take sympathy and you turn it, or you alchemize it into power. And you take power and you turn it into absolute power. So he was just a politician 8 days ago. When we was on YouTube 8 days ago, he was just a politician who had a lead on Joe Biden based off the fact that he embarrassed him in the debate, right? 7 days later, though, after the fact that he tilted his head, right, and there was divine intervention from the angels and whatnot, and the fact that he's anointed and he's the second coming and he's Teflon, this man, right? And it was shown to you in real time at the Republican National Convention, so you don't have to speculate, so you don't have to be in quote unquote I wonder if, maybe, because no, you saw it right there immediately in real time. He has a cult following of people who showed up with bandages on their ears. Okay, they were all wearing bandages around their ears. Ear diapers is what we call them, right? Young Thug's judge who got recused, he might have some time on his hand. He should go and do the research and go and find out that they don't have hospital records that said that Donald J. Trump actually had a gun wound. There's no hospital record of that. There's no bullet fragments. He didn't get stitching. He didn't get stitches, y'all. So there's going to be the logical mind, and then there's going to be the mind that says, yo, the fact that he didn't get stitches is because he's the Christ. He's the anointed one. He's special, right? And then the logical mind is say, wait a minute, I don't give a fuck if an AR-15 whizzes by you and even nicks you. If it even nicks you, the heat, right? The velocity of the quote unquote bullet is not just going to give you some little nick. He didn't get no stitches. That's not what I said. That's what they're saying. There were no stitches given. So I'm not trying to hear, what are we talking about? You didn't get shot in the air. Maybe something hit you, a projectile, like they said when the report first came out, and then it miraculously disappeared. That the schnapple, you know what I mean, the fragments of the teleprompter, which was hit by the bullet, is what basically hit him in the ear. That's why he hit his ear and ducked. Okay. So on July the 28th, ladies and gentlemen, me and the good brother Sharif Bey, we're going to be building on a lot of things dealing with the fear of a Black Amor Messiah. One of the things that this series does, and we started it 2 months before Donald Trump was president, October the 10th, 2016. It is an informed dissertation that I've been doing since 2016 to allow our brothers and sisters the opportunity to get this information about what's coming down the pipeline, so when it happens, it doesn't catch you by surprise. Okay, as you can see, information is like it's a royal flush. It's a royal flush when you have information, right? As you can see in war, as you can see in corporate America, as you can see in the stock market, information, being able to have the right information before everybody else puts you into a huge advantage. Okay. You would flinch more from a bee sting. Okay. He didn't even have a bandage on his ear today at his rally. You feel me? You know. But that's what creates cognitive dissonance. That's the flat earthers versus the earthers. That's the birthers versus the non-birthers. That's just more about distraction and pulling people further away from one another and seeding the quote-unquote fertile soil of a civil war based off of the fact that everybody is on edge. People are on fringe right now. People are very fringe right now. Okay. They are extremely on the fringe. There's something in the air, and it's being exasperated with Trump mania. Trump mania just started the other day. Hulk Hogan, who basically just was fired from occupation based off of him losing the lawsuit for calling one of his employees the N-word, right? He was on stage tearing off his suit jacket, claiming his allegiance to the Trump quote unquote bandwagon, or to the Trump train, right? Or Operation Trump, or Project Trump 2025, whatever they want to call it. He says, yo, it's Hulkamania's in the building. You know what I'm talking about? So it's him and Amber Rose on the tag team. Okay, just picture that. It's him and Amber Rose on the tag team. So that's Jersey Shore. That's the whole coast of that's the whole coast of Jersey. That's all of the Philly thoughts. Okay. And it's all of Florida with Hulk Hogan. Everybody, all of the Florida juicers and shit like that. Like everybody's on board. It's gonna be a landslide. Don't be distracted. Today I had a conversation at an event that I was invited to speak at in the West End, and it was the Unity Day by the Moors. The Moors put together an event, Islam to the Moors. Islam, my brother Professor Gabriel and his beautiful wife, my sister Latte, and the rest of the staff who was there, my good brother Julius and his wife Nia and their beautiful children. We were at 640. Blue Pill was there. He tore it down. My brother Andre 360, he tore it down. I tore it down. We were delivering a good word. And, we brought up the fact that outside of any candidate, whatever the fate of any candidate is in November, based off of the experience that we know, based off what we've been seeing and what we've been shown, is that going to make the quality of life of any one of us who are on our journey improve? Like, does Donald Trump or Joe Biden or whoever is going to run, does them winning, right, is that going to transform us into be more righteous people? Is them winning going to automatically change the frequency of what it is our people are suffering from? You know what I mean? Is them winning going to help me manifest my destiny? And I could say beyond a shadow of doubt that no, that none of my destiny is not tied into any one of these candidates and whatever their destinies are, right? I'm not beholden to that. So I'm not going to put energy into the results that involves either one of those candidates, because at the end of the day, I'm working on what I'm doing. I'm governing my mental. You understand? Whatever's going to be is going to be. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. You don't run from no type of situation on your timeline. You don't dodge no type of smoke. What they say is you smile in the face of adversity. You don't shy, and you don't shrink because Donald J. Trump will be president. No, your life is a celebration if you say it is. And I don't give a damn who the president is. If you was out there making shit happen and making it shake, and if you was out there making moves and networking and building and whatnot, if you was out there creating and innovating, then you gonna continue to do that. Ain't no goddamn president gonna change none of that. You feel me? I am not a part of a beggar state. I don't look for no damn handout. I don't shake a cup. I'm not a part of a beggar nation. I'm not standing around with my hand out. I'm not standing around worrying what a damn billionaire could do for me, and I'm not playing billionaire chess. I like this guy. No, Elon is my man. Nah, I'm these are a billionaire action figure. You niggas is down with the billionaire boys club. So I'm not going to be participating in those activities. It's a lot of shit going on right now that has nothing to do with all of that. It's time to use that distraction to our benefit. That's the best thing that we could be. Utilize that thing to your benefit, as the world turns. But it is worth noting. It is worth noting that there is a legit cult being seated before our very own eyes. It's gonna get a little uglier before it begins to get a little more attractive. Let's just say that. But the solutions that we've been waiting for is staring at us in our face. We are the solutions that we have been waiting for, and it can't be anything else, because god damn it, that's not the way. That never been the way. So don't even make that mistake. We are who we've been waiting for. We just have to stand looking at one another and working with one another and trusting one another and wanting to see one another win. God damn, why are we so allergic to that? That's the $1 million question. Why are we so impervious to that? Because it doesn't have to be. And I'm talking to 44 million of us. Nobody's above reproach. We got to talk to all 44 million and make sure that these answers, make sense. But the people who are running laps and using us as a doormat and using the NBCs as a stepping stone, these people are coming from nations. They have flags. They're moving as a collective, most of them. They're moving as a hive mind. And something got to change. Shit. Everything can't remain the same, right? Something got to change. And, it's going to change. It's going to start with us. And it is starting. But it needs to ramp up. It needs to turn up. You know what I mean? It needs a little more, it needs a stronger push. It needs a stronger push. It's time for us to demonstrate strength. Straight like that. We need to have roundtables. We need to have more ciphers. We need to have those amongst us who have solutions and leader-like qualities to begin to step forward and to even plant ideas and seeds and concepts and demand to change the narrative. That's kind of what we need at this juncture that we find ourselves in the dog days of summer and whatnot. We could utilize some type of collective plan or a collective group agreed upon of objectives, maybe some tasks that we all want to collectively complete together. I think we should start there. Today being Proclamation Day for me and Blue Pill and my sister America Sutton, we have to really begin to look at ourselves, as the ones who have the answers that we need, that we've been looking for, because sometimes we may be sitting around waiting for somebody else to do the work when the whole time it's really us that have the work. We got the work inside of us, and we need to put it out, and we need to walk in that purpose. Because even though I might have critiques against Martin Luther King for what I considered, him being he was used by the government. They used this man. You feel me? The mythos of Martin Luther King was something that the same people who I suspect took his life were responsible for creating and whatnot. They sold this man to us through the public school, or what they would call the Board of Education. This idea of MLK was sold to us as propaganda. We didn't learn about nobody else. Straight like that. Like, so that this has to be some strings attached. We didn't learn about nobody else. But one of the things that I could give this man the props for is the fact that he was able to galvanize. He was able to galvanize. So in these days and times where people got thousands, it's the numbers is just crazy. It's time for us to begin to galvanize and use those numbers. Like Blue Pill asked today in his segment, what would Noble Drew Ali do with the technology today? What would Marcus Garvey do with all of this technology today? What would MLK do with this technology today, where they could organize and get and tap in with thousands of people across the world and broadcast in real time? Like, we got to take more advantage of the tools that we have in our hands right now to do what needs to be done. But it's more to come. It's more to come. I don't want to use tonight's platform as a campaigning platform to begin to speak on things that need to be in a certain type of environment, so it could have context and whatnot. So we do have some upcoming Facts Initiative conversations and roundtables, and we're going to begin to roll that out. Like I said, I want to have this conversation with the Moors before I have any conversations about anything else. That's why I livicated the month of July to deal with all of my Moorish affairs. Henceforth, we started the month off with the good brother Sharif Bey on Melanin Monday. We brought him through. And then we had Taj on the show on on Third Eye Thursday, pardon me. And now on Melanin Monday, we're going to bring him back, and we'll have him on a panel with the brother Sharif Anil Bey, Sabir Bey, and the Minister of Information. Now, this is what I'm promising the family that's out there. By the time we finish with all of these shows, especially for those that are out there who have questions, right? Who have questions, okay? Please, if you have questions, let me leave my email. If you have questions that you want me to ask on Monday to these good brothers and whatnot, when they pull up, you can email them to me to the marked 125th. I'm going to give you that in a minute. Let me write this down. All right. And I also am going to do a ticket giveaway. Okay. So we're going to give away 5 tickets for the lecture that we have with the good brother Sharif Bey on the 28th. I'm going to play 2 video clips and I'm going to ask you a question. We're going to ask you 5 questions. Okay. Whoever gets those 5 questions right, you will get 5 tickets to come to the lecture for free. All right. So make sure you have your pens and pads on deck and whatnot, and make sure you're listening when we play this clip with the brother Taj and he's breaking these things down. We're going to give you a quiz at the end. That's the email right there, the Mark125th@gmail. That is for anybody who has questions that you want to ask the good brothers on this show on Monday. This is going to be a Moorish Roundtable, and we'll be taking questions from the audience when we finish our roundtable. You know, real serious information, things that you need answers for in terms of, you know, from a Moorish perspective. Okay, whether it's civics, whether it's law, whether it's about anything dealing with, you know, what they are perfected in their fields. So let's go to the videos that I'm talking about. All right, let's check this first one out. This one right here is with the Grand Sheikh, Brother Taj, and he's breaking down the quote unquote, he's giving a lot of sauce, but this starts out where he's breaking down race as a social construct created by Bludenbach.
Backfired on them because it has given the people of the world an opportunity to talk to each other and to discover, yes, and to discover information for the most part that has always been held back from the public.
That's a fact.
Anyway, back to the
Can you repeat the name of Carlos and Frederick, please? Let's start with them again so we can get the spelling.
Yeah. They would say Carol, some would say Carolus, but Carlos, they would say Carlos Linnaeus. That was a double N. And just speak it in your speaker and you'll get a little bit of history on him.
Okay.
And Frederick Johann Blumenbach. That's a B-A-C-K, H, yeah.
Blumenbach.
Now, they dealt with the phenotype operations to create the psychology paradigm of race, which was to be used for social control. So remember, that's 1700s, and it doesn't go back. So when you see scholars start talking about the racism and they go back beyond that, you already know that they're not being honest with the people.
Right.
No different than when you're dealing with the animal husbandry training by design for dumbing down conquered peoples, and particularly people of what you call the ancient Phoenici, Canaanite, Moabite tribes, particularly in the Maghreb, which is known as the Americas, etc. Yes. And this is one of the reasons why they have always used that term. And I know people have heard that term where the hybrid Europeans would refer to the psychosis of separating Egypt from Africa. And people who didn't understand it would say, how could they lift up Egypt and move it away from Africa? Because they're thinking geography in their mind, and really is the mind of the people not knowing that America, or what they call America, is part of Egypt, ancient. Right. And they're really not separate. And this is, again, why they've always promoted that self-hatred, that when some of the information would come out, a lot of our own people would get angry as soon as you say that they have any African descent. That's part of mind control system. So they don't know.
I'm sorry. Can you expound on that just a bit?
All right. Lower Tennessee and Kentucky area is really known as Lower Egypt.
Yes, indeed. It's been noted.
Yeah, this is why they don't allow the common people to enter those tunnels except in limited areas. Another dynamic is why they disallow the general public altogether to go into what you call any deep entries into the Grand Canyon.
Yes, that is off limits.
Because they will find more so-called ancient Hikupta. Because remember, Egypt is a modern term for Hikupta. That's where you get Ptah from.
Yes.
The actual name of Egypt is Hikupta, and it includes here. And so they don't want people to know about the Great Super Devere, where what you refer to Tameri, or what you refer to as Kemet, where the northern part of what they call Africa in modern times actually was at the Gulf of Mexico.
The Yucatan Peninsula?
Yeah, absolutely. And they will refer to it in their rewritten history as the continental shift.
Right.
Or continental drift, and also called Pangea.
Right.
Or the sinking of Mu and Atlantis. The ancient ones here refer to it as the cocoa plate shift. And so you're talking about compound thousands of years ago. And our people have been here then and before. Right. So when they tell the people the reconstructed history of the so-called black diaspora, that's totally reconstructed. And for the most part, not that there haven't been servitude trade among tribes and stuff like that. That's true, but very limited. 99% of the people who are descended here are the people of the land. They're really Al-Moroccans. Al means descendant or coming down or descended down from, and Moroccan is a short for the Canaanite, Moabite, ancient tribes, etc. And this is why some people, when they start doing research, they start discovering the foundations of certain philosophies, and they trace it back to the Kabbalistic and Sabian Moors. And this is where they get Saba, or the name Saba, or the word Saba, and seven from. It's actually from themselves. And this is why a lot of people think, because of the reconstructed history, they'll say, "Oh, we're really Hebrew." No, Hebrew is a dialectical corruption of the word Ibri, which means those who cross the river.
Right. You always taught us that.
It's not a people, it's an action.
Right.
And it had to do with the Super Devere, the Great Super Devere, or what is referred to in Septuaginta and in Asiatic, and this, you got to always remember Asiatic Africa. People, when they say Africa and they don't say Asia too, they're misdirecting the people's minds. Because we peopled the planet.
Right.
All right. And so a lot of things that they will talk about coming from Africa, that's a directed misnomer. Much of what they've been told is actually reversed from here to the other side. If you get the fact.
Yes,
they know that, but that's referred to as one of the great Masonic secrets, never to be told under the threat of death. And this is why all secret societies, whether you see them hybrid Europeans, whether in Russia, whether in China, whether in Africa or Kemet today, or in South America, all of them in their chambers wear the Moorish fez.
Yes, they do.
And this is also, and this includes a lot of our honored leaders that our people considered leaders, including Elijah Muhammad, Farrakhan, Jesse, Martin, all of them in secret had fezzes. Now, logically, they know that if they say things like we're talking openly, that most of them would get thrown out of their own houses.
Oh, that's a violation of the oath.
Because the mentality of the people.
Right.
And, no different than, like, say, for instance, for those who are like 5%ers, gods and earth, they know about Clarence, but they don't know about Clarence and the supreme wisdom and his participation in the Nation of Islam, which was also the Temple of Allah, and also with Malik, Malcolm, and also why they broke off, and also why they were murdered. Even Brother Khalid, when he started telling the people some of the supreme wisdom and started leaking out that these people are Moors, all of a sudden you know what happened to him in New York.
Right.
All right. Now,
I think it was in Atlanta.
Pardon me, Atlanta, but I'm just saying, you know where I'm coming from. When he made those statements in New York.
Right. They put the mark on the target on him.
Exactly, because that's called the Great Masonic Secret. Right. Because once they know that, they start digging up history, they'll start finding out that most of the things that they've been told are false, reconstructed, and many of the people that they've trusted as leaders are actually COINTELPRO operatives. Difficult for them to accept that, but that is the reality. Now, getting back to the point of the black codes, the Christian black codes come from Codes Noir 1620, which is French of the Franciscan Brotherhood, that deals with a lot of the dynamics of the Slavic, some of the Slavic Germanic tribes that were conquered by the Red Russians. And this is where you get the word slave from. Slave is an identity. It's not a condition. But you already know it's for reconstructed purposes and controlling the narrative. They told the people it's a condition and that it's a name that applies to Moors who were branded Negro, black, colored, and Indian, and saying that that's the identity of such persons when actually it's the nationality of the Europeans. Now, this is the other deal. Black is derived from Middle English, and which is derived from Old High German, and has its existence in linguistic forms 1150 to the 1700 area. It has no ancient origin and is from Old High German, and it means beluga, white spot, black, blaine, blanco, etc., and actually means pale colors. That's what it means.
The word is thought to have its roots over 4,000 years ago in Proto-Indo-European. That's the language that's our best guess at where the Indo-European languages originated. Some etymologists believe its origins are in the Proto-Indo-European bleg. I don't actually know exactly how you're supposed to say that. One of the meanings of which is to do with burning. The later Proto-Germanic word blackas also meant burnt. What colour are things when they're charred and burnt? They're black. Black also shares its origins with another English word, blanc, which we get from the French word blanc. But hold on a second. Blanc in French means white. So what's going on there then? So the old Germanic folk who were using the word black or something like it had a decisiveness problem. They all agreed that black meant burnt, but not on what burnt looked like. There was one camp that said it was the bright white colour of burning embers, and another that said it meant the dark, charred blackness of the aftermath. So the English ended up with black meaning black, and the French got black meaning white, but in the form of blanc. When English then took blanc from the French, they turned it into blank, and also developed the word bleach as well, meaning white. And then we also got the word bleak, which I don't know, to me is more of a dark word. Well, I don't know anymore. There's a danger of us falling down an etymological black hole.
Yes. Block, blink, bleach, blay, blue. All right. Yeah, so we got some questions for you. We got some questions and we got some true or false. All right. So let's get right to it so we could get some winners up in the building and get you these free tickets. You dig? Shout out to Taj. We will be on the show on Monday with the master teacher. So please show up. If you want to watch that full video from the clip that you just saw, it is on this page. Go ahead and subscribe to the page and it will pop up in your feed on your algorithm and whatnot. Make sure you hit the notification bell, and that will help you on the that will help you with recommendations and the algorithm, and that will also get you recommended better videos that come from this channel. Okay, so first question is for the quiz. All right, what is another term for the continental drift? What is another term for the continental drift? Ladies and gentlemen, first one to get this question correct, right, you are going to be receiving a free ticket. Upcoming lecture right here. All right, so Rob 1 is the winner of this one right here. Rob 1 is the winner of this. I'm going to put email, ladies and gentlemen, the email right here on the ticker. It's the Mark125th at Gmail. All of the winners have to email me so you can receive your prize. Okay, you have to email me respectfully. Okay, and you good. So I want to say thank you to Rob 1 for that correct answer. Cocoa plate shift is the answer. Another term for the continental drift, ladies and gentlemen. All right. True or false? Black is derived from Middle English, Old German. True or false? Black is derived from Middle English, Old High German. True or false? King Gusto, you got yourself a ticket. Woo-ha! King Gusto, you got yourself a ticket. That is correct. All right. The next one. True or false? The Maghreb is in North Africa. Also, Lower Egypt is in Tennessee and Lower Memphis. True or false? All right, Jay. You got that one there, brother or sister. All right. You have that one correct. Okay. The next true or false. Slavery is an identity, not a condition. Slavery is an identity, not a condition. True or false? All right. Antonio James, you have the prize. All right. You have one, Antonio. Make sure, like I said, you email me and you say, yo, I won question. I won, I know who y'all are. And I'll send you your link. And the email is the Mark125th at Gmail. Okay, so the last question that we have, y'all been doing great with these answers, by the way. Very, very y'all very engaged, and I like that. Okay, Frederick Blumenbach, who was responsible for phenotype operations. What was the years that he was doing the work? The 1600s, the 1700s, or the 1800s? Whoever answers that first. Frederick Blumenbach, the creator of the phenotype operations. Okay, so we have a winner, y'all. Reese is in this thing. Out here winning tickets on a Saturday Night Live. Look at you. Talk black to me.
You know what I'm talking about? We doing our thing. We are doing our thing. You know what I mean? Conscious Leaf, I'm feeling good tonight. You email me too, Conscious Leaf. I'm feeling good tonight. You know what I mean? I'm feeling courteous. You hit me up as well. Good playing the game with y'all. That was very, very fun. We will do that again for the show that we have on Melanin Monday. I'm gonna bring that back. And the questions this time is going to be a lot more challenging, respectfully. The new questions on Monday, as we progress, the questions will get harder and harder, you know what I'm saying, as we move forward. But yeah, that was good game, good playing with y'all. I'm going to leave y'all with the smash new intro. This one is going to get us a Instagrammy and whatnot. You know, this one right here, this is a banger right here. You know what I'm talking about? Red and blue, purple like Prince. You know what I mean? I might have to pull up with the full linen suit. You know what I mean? With the butterfly collars on these. But yeah, man, thank you everybody for your time tonight. We are gonna get up out of here. We will be back for Sacrilegious Sundays. Sacrilegious Sundays, we are gonna be focusing on The Butcher is coming. And I ain't talking about Benny the Butcher, I'm talking about Billy the Butcher and Homelander. So we're gonna be doing a Homelander season 4 review on Sacrilegious Sundays. We're gonna be doing The Boys season 4 review, because the season is over for the TV show that I've been telling everybody about. That, like I said, in my humble opinion, is the best TV show on TV right now. It's not, I don't watch TV. It's on Amazon. I don't know what they call that. Oh, the streaming platforms. There you go. So yeah, the last show was on Thursday. It was the season finale that I needed, and it was one of the best shows of that season, you know. And it was right in alignment with the Donald Trump season finale. And just like that, just like clockwork, and it's just exactly what we were saying. Homelander ended as a dictator, right? Everything fell in his hands, and he ended the season with what we watching Donald Trump tap into right now, right? It's who, I can't make this up. You feel me? I love the writing on these series. You know what I mean? I'm not a big fan of Power and that whole series and whatnot. I haven't gotten into that. I really, pardon me, I know that might offend some people, but I'm into writers. I'm into dope pens. Like Game of Thrones was my shit because of the writing. You know what I mean? I'm into writing. I'm big on that. And the writing on The Boys, the writing on American Gods, the writing on even Godfather of Harlem. You know, these shows to me intrigue me because of their writing, the character arcs, all of the things that they make a great thing. The cinematography got to be on point. Like everything got to fall into place. And The Boys, they got the special effects. You know what I'm saying? All of these things are falling into place. They got the special effects. You dig? They got the storyline. They got the character development. They are the most on point show on all of TV that is completely in alignment with what's going on with Donald Trump right now. There's no other show on the internet, on cable, or on TV where the star of that show, who just so happens to be the most terrifying villain in all of the quote unquote superhero universe, that's who Homelander is. That's who Homelander is. He's the most terrifying villain to come along in a very long time. And he is marching towards pure dictatorship. Imagine going from a president to an emperor. Imagine going from a superhero to a quote unquote president, and then going from a president to something like an emperor to a dictator, from for the Americas and then the world. So we're talking global domination is taking place in this universe, and it's symbolically speaking to what I'm witnessing right now with this global domination of Trump mania. It mushroomed outside of the borders of America. This cult, this cultification, this quote unquote, this messianic, right, cult that's being built around this man, right, who is Homelander, who is a maniac, you feel me, who is a sadomasochist, who has all of the traits of an American psycho. And people are literally ready to die on the quote unquote battlefield. They're ready to sacrifice the husk. They're ready to put it all on the line just for the idea of what he represents, the crusades that they are preparing to go marching on. These people are preparing for crusades. These people are literally preparing to go crusading during the quote unquote term of the Trump administration. That's what Project 2025 ultimately is really about, Christian nationalism. And Christian nationalism starts off as Christian nationalism, and it turns quickly into Christian fascism. You feel me? And that turns quickly into something very, very ugly. When in Rome. When in Rome. So, man, what a time to be aligned. Everything is going according to plan, like we Sister Sage and whatnot. And what really woke me up and what really showed me that this was one of the best seasons of The Boys, and people, they might even owe them a little apology, because a lot of the, you know, the early reviews were negative about this season, but the way that this season has kind of like shaped up, I'm feeling it. You know what I mean? It's setting it up for the last season. But it ended with the black woman once again. It ended with the melanated Mobite. Excuse me. I have to put $5 every time I say black. But it ended with the melanated woman, Sister Sage, right? And what is her superpower? What is Sister Sage's superpower in the Boys universe? She's the smartest woman on the planet, right? She doesn't have brawn. Her superpower, she doesn't have laser sight like Homelander. She's not stronger than 10,000 men like Homelander. She doesn't have the quote unquote ability to become invisible and all of these things that the Supes have, right? The Supes are like the X-Men and the, you know, like, yeah, like the X-Men, the uncanny X-Men and whatnot. Yeah. And, you know, she is the smartest woman on the planet. And she set this whole thing up to help the white man or Homelander. No, see, once again, she did all of this to assist Homelander because she believes in anarchy. She wants humanity to be destroyed. Okay. She has a disdain for humanity based off of the fact of how they treated her because she was a melanated girl. You dig? So she's the hate that you gave little infants, F's everyone. That's who Sister Sage is. And Sister Sage is a very cunning, very intelligent. She's playing chess on 4 levels. That's what this sister is doing. And she has the supervillain wrapped around her thumb, and that's Homelander. She has him wrapped around her thumb. And the last scene of the season finale and whatnot, she popped up and she laid everything down, and she told him get ready for phase 2. So next season, which is season 5, they said it's coming in 2026. You're going to be seeing Sister Sage running phase 2 of the operations. You dig? Similar to how, you know, it's very interesting, this concept of the black woman being the brains behind a lot of these operations and whatnot, and being able to do it better than anybody on this planet, mama, right? Being able to run like the Oracle in the Matrix, right? When it's all said and done, she sat down with the architect. You dig what I'm saying? They didn't have beef like that. They were not ops. She sat down with her op, right? It was her the whole time. Hidden figures and whatnot. When they showed you who was the brainchild in NASA, who was the one that was creating the quote unquote It was the human computers, right? They were the ones the whole time. They were the brains behind the operation the whole time. You didn't, on the surface, you would have no way of knowing that, but they were the brains of the operations. These were melanated women. The DNA of Henrietta Lacks, right? Even in their quote unquote death, even our women, when they're not even here, their essence and their quote unquote indestructible cells have assisted this man in his endeavors. Her intelligence, right? Her sheer intelligence, just because she's committed to whatever she's committed to. And we cannot fault our sisters to being committed to whatever they're committed to. It is what it is, right? Everybody has a purpose. You know? We taught humanity. That's right, healing arts. You know? So we're gonna do a complete unpacking of season 4. The Butcher's coming. My dude Butcher, right? Look at Cleopatra, right? They showed the Cleopatra on Netflix, and they showed the cunningness of the woman when she's working with the enemy or the op or against her better judgment, right? Similar to how we slip up. There's many examples of how we've done things like that and whatnot, and how we are the hidden hand. But I'm just, pointing out that there's some movies that show that. I'm not indicting anybody, and I'm definitely not coming for our sisters. I'm just showing you in cinema. They showed you that they showed you that in the TV show Lovecraft Country, right? It was the sister the whole time that was behind the scenes with the white dude or the European and whatnot, who was the skin peeler and stuff like that. So, respect, Antonio. Appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, it is what it is. Yeah, so that's tomorrow. That's Sacrilegious Sundays. Tonight was lit. I appreciate everybody in the building. I'm getting a feeling that before Monday comes, there will be an announcement, a major announcement in terms of this theater of politics, and we'll get on top of that and we'll talk about it and whatnot, So yeah, with that being said, we out of here, y'all. Peace.
Red, blue, purple light, friends. Red, blue, purple light, friends. Facts. Red, blue, purple light, friends. Red and blue, purple light, friends. Facts. Get to know the ledger, sacrilegious Sunday to melanin Monday. You can get to know the ledger, my love. Just open your third eye on Thursday. Lord, the food, the art. Red, blue, purple light, friends. Red, blue, purple light, friends. Facts. Red, blue, purple light, friends. Red and blue, purple light, friends. Facts. Get to know the ledger, sacrilegious Sunday to melanin Monday. You can get to know the ledger, my love. Just open your third eye on Thursday. Lord, the food, the art, the clothes, the Vatican's Americans getting exposed fast. We put the show on the road. You better stay on your toes. I was till the land, focused on the ego. Then I opened my heart, let go of the ego. Grand after grand, we're stacking up these C notes. Facts, facts, yeah. We gon' put this shit on our backs. Facts, facts. We in your city, pull up where we at. Peace, love and light. Peace, love to the family. Peace, love and light. To the family. Peace, love and light. To the family.
These days and time, black man, is going to be the time that you have been waiting for. You came here for a reason. Whatever pressure, whatever adversity, whatever the fuck you feel, I don't know what you feel, but whatever you may be feeling is going to push you, and it's going to provoke you, and it's either going to make you or break you, similar to how pressure busts pipes or the shit makes diamonds.